to do about an hour of yoga together. I have Abby in the corner there. If you see me looking or talking to someone, it's Abby.
Hello.
Yeah, so before we get started, you may want to grab yourself 2 blocks or 2 things that resemble blocks, or also not. Everything's optional. And just remind yourself as you move through the practice, if anything doesn't quite feel right, totally understandable, just swap it out for something else, or you can just skip past it. It's not a big deal. So not everything, not all shapes in this practice are going to feel good in everyone's body. So just be aware of that. And if it doesn't quite suit, it's not because you're broken or it's not because you're not good enough or anything like that. It's just where you are at this point in time. Yeah, give yourself some space. Things are pretty strange at the moment, so like if things aren't really even ticking over and going like they usually would, like that makes sense, right? Yeah. So let's come into child's pose. When you're ready, mosey your way there. Your knees, they come out reasonably wide. Stretch your arms forward and just rest your forehead down onto the mat. And give your forehead a little rock from side to side. Now, you stay in child's pose. I'm just going to pop my head up just for the sake of having clearer audio. Yeah, just rock your forehead from side to side to get a little massage into your temples. And you can slow that back down into stillness and just think about lengthening out your upper body. Walking your hands forward, wiggling your bum back down towards your heels. And take some slow and steady rounds of breath. So just be aware of the breath as it comes in and out of your nose. And you take this awareness of your breath all the way through your practice, and ideally we want to sync up the movement with the breath. So as soon as a breath begins, the movement begins. And when the breath ends, the movement ends. You take the entire breath to make your way from where you're going to where you're going. Yeah? So we're not in any hurry. And if my breathing cues are different to how you breathe, move in time with you. Don't really worry too much about me. Yeah? So we'll pause here just for another moment. Fill up the lungs. Empty them back out. And on the no breath, make your way up onto your hands and knees. So take your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and when you, just before we move here, spread your fingertips out nice and wide. Press the finger pads down, press your knuckles down, press the inside, outside heels of your hands down. Yeah, just to take some of the weight out of your wrists. And when you're ready, we move through our cat and cow. So on the inhale breath, drop your belly down toward the ground, lift your sit bones, broaden your chest forward and start to look up. To exhale, tuck your tail and ripple up through the spine. So you get to move your spine through flexion and extension. Inhale, belly drops, chest is broad, you make a U shape. Exhale, tuck the tail and dome up through the spine, and see if you can move one little bone of your spine after the other. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, curl up high. See if you can lift your lower belly as you drop your tailbone back down. Just take about another 2 or 3 rounds, moving, like I said, in time with your own breath. Try not to rush yourself. I think there's something that just feels really good about moving in time with your own breath. And when you're ready, shift your way back, downward face, so tuck your toes, plug into your hands, lift your knees, and then shift it back, downward facing dog. And ideally, we want our feet to be about in a hip distance apart, so about the size, about just enough space to fit 2 palms in between your 2 big toe knuckles. Yeah, something like that. Point the toes forward and allow your heels to disappear behind your first and second toe. Awesome. Now give your shoulders a little shrug. Yeah, roll them out of your ears, send the underarms in. Yeah, and then just press back down into the first knuckle of your first finger. Yeah, that's gonna feel better. Take a deep breath in. Full breath back out, soften your knees a little bit more, and we walk our feet towards the front of the mat, bending your knees more and more as you go. Walk the feet out now about as wide as your shoulders. Bend your knees and allow the upper body just to fold over the top of the lower body. So if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees even more, bring your ribs right down towards your thighs, your drummers. If you do have more space, then start to lift your sit bones up. Rock a little bit more weight into your toes as you dangle your head down towards the ground. And it can feel really nice here just to sway yourself from side to side. Just to shrug your shoulders. Give your head a little jiggle. Not it yet. Shake it no. And then release. 2 hands come down towards the ground. Bend your knees even more. Keep that softness in the knees. And roll yourself up to stand. Just gently engage your core as you lift yourself up, just so you keep your spine nice and safe. Roll up to stand. And stretch 2 arms out wide. Reach them up towards the ceiling. Look up at your palms as you press them together. Exhale, 2 hands come down through prayer in front of your chest. Inhale. Exhale, release 2 hands down by your sides. Now if your feet are still out quite wide, let's turn them back in. Lovely. And let's begin. 2 arms stretch out wide. Inhale, reach back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, soften your knees and fold them towards yourself. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest forwards. Exhale, 2 hands come flat, and we step back into our plank. And I feel like plank is really no one's favorite pose. I get it. It's hard. It takes a lot of work. So as you pause here, just set up your hands, make sure fingertips spread out wide. Press down into your pinky finger. Press down into your first finger, plug down into your thumbs, and then squeeze them in. That's going to feel a whole lot more stable in your body. So that switches on the inside seam of your arms, the front of your chest, the outside seams of your arms, and the upper back. Now lift your lower belly, and without lifting your bum, lift your inner thighs. Press your feet back and pull your collarbone forward. Take 1 more deep breath in, it just got harder. Exhale, knees go down to the ground. And you lower slow, elbows tuck into your side ribs. When you're right, untuck the feet. Press into the tops of them and inhale, cobra pose. So you have this lightness in your palms, but press deeply down into your feet. Maybe your kneecaps lift up, that's totally fine. To exhale, ripple back down and come into child's pose again. Slide your hands forward. Hips come back down towards your heels. Now just pause here for a moment. Take 3 rounds of your own breath. Count them as you go. Breathe in and out of your nose. And on your last exhale, using all of the exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Keep that length in your upper body. You simply just lengthen out your legs as much as you need to, so you make this kind of slightly wonky triangle type shape. Take a deep breath in, steady your gaze in between your 2 big toes. Full breath out. You do the same thing again. Inhale, roll up onto the balls of your feet. Soften your knees, look forwards, and you can either walk or step your way to the top of your mats. Halfway lift when you arrive. Full breath out, bow back down towards yourself. Take 2 arms out wide, stretch them, lift them up towards the ceiling. You can add a little back bend in here if you like, ground the heels. Lift the lower belly, start to lift your chest and your hands up and over your head. To exhale, bow. Straight back down and towards yourself, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, pull the chest forwards. Exhale, hands flat, feet step back, plank pose. Take your knees down to the ground, straight away this time, but keep the feet pressing. Keep the knees dropping, pull your chest forwards, lift your gaze beyond the edge of your mat, and just lower down halfway. Yeah, pause. Yeah, I know, wrap your elbows in, draw your shoulders out your ears. To exhale, lower all the way back down. Press into the top of your feet, inhale, cobra. Draw your chest forward, so just the same as last time, but maybe come a little bit deeper. To exhale, ripple yourself down, either make your way back home to child's pose or any variation of plank. Maybe the knees are on the ground, maybe lift them up. Just shift it back home. Downward facing dog, 3 rounds of breath. Plug into your hands, press the first knuckle down. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide and shift more weight back into your feet. Yeah, time and time again, remind yourself. Your leg muscles are much bigger than your arm muscles, so allow the legs to do more of the heavy lifting. Last time. Inhale, roll up onto the balls of your feet. Soften your knees, look forwards, and you can either walk, step, or take a little hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, bow in towards yourself. Take 2 arms out wide. Come up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. To exhale, bow, back in towards yourself. Deep breath in, pull the chest forwards. Full breath out, 2 hands come flat, 2 feet step back. Now you can either take one of the 2 options from before, but if you'd like a little bit more, exhale, lower halfway with the legs extended. So it doesn't matter whether the knees are on the ground or they're lifting up, that's still chaturanga, and then you choose either to continue down to the ground with your cobra or press into your hands, press into your feet as you lift the thighs and hips up. Yep. Exhale, peel it back. Downward facing dog. Stretch out nice and long. Steady your gaze. Find your breath. And let's come into our sun, sea variation. So, on your next inhale, start to float your right leg up towards the ceiling. Now come a little higher onto the ball of the left foot. Squeeze your knee in towards your chest, but stay in this dog shape. So you're just drawing the right shin in towards your ribs. Now look forwards. Keeping your bum high, ripple yourself forward and see if you can step the right foot just behind the right hand. Heel first, then the ball on toes of your foot. Awesome. Place your left knee down to the ground, and you come on up. Little modified lunge. So 2 arms reach up towards the ceiling, draw the palms in, and you have an explorer this shape. So shift your hips forward, shift them back, a little rock from side to side. Just figure out where is tight, where is not. And spending a lot of time on the couch recently. So my hips are super tight. Yeah. I live in a very small home. There's not really that much space to do much else. So figure out how your hips feeling today and make peace with whatever it is that you've got. And then we'll come and meet each other in this like nice 90-degree angle shape. So 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back. Tuck your back left toes. And before we actually lift anything, you just squeeze your legs in towards the midline. It's like you want to slide them in towards each other. Yep. 2 arm bridge up. Press down into your feet. Just to hover the left knee just up off the ground. Now the lower the knee, the harder this is. The higher up you come, the more friendly it is. Yeah. So find a variation of this shape where you definitely feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't make you want to cry. Perfect. And you pause for 3. Can you steady your gaze? 2. Remember to breathe. For 1. And just place your left knee back down to the ground. Settle 2 arms out wide, frame off your front foot, and we step forward into our forward fold. Bow upper body over the lower body. Now bend your knees. Bring your big toes to touch. Reach your arms up and sink your bum low. Chair pose. You don't have to go super deep into this shape, but just shift your way back. Pick up your toes. Spread them out. Place them back down. Relax your shoulders. And then take 2 arms back behind you. Draw the knuckles down. Draw your shoulders out of your ears now. Do your best to lengthen your arms. This is the best I can do. So I'm going to keep on working on it. You keep on working on it too. Broaden your chest. To exhale out. In towards yourself. I've never been able to lengthen my arms here. I'm just going to keep on working on it. Been working on it for a while. But I suspect, got another good 40 years at least to to work on it. Drop the crown of your head. Now can you lift your shoulder blades up and away from your ears? Deep breath in. Relax your shoulders, exhale. 2 hands come back down to the ground and you take a halfway lift. Shift your weight into your left foot. Slide the right leg back, come into a low lunge. Okay, now if you have blocks or block-like things, you might like to pop them underneath your shoulders now. Okay, you come into your low lunge. Shift your hips forward and sink them down so you can feel something interesting in your hips, all right? That shouldn't be too challenging. Too challenging to find, not too challenging sensation. Exhale, shift it back, balance towards yourself and lengthen the left leg. Now you can come high on the ball of the right foot and lift your heel up if you like. Your other foot to your right foot. Right foot up, yeah. Inhale, hips forward, sink them down. Like you can absolutely spin the right foot out and down if you want. Exhale, take it back, just doing this. It's a lot more, yeah? You give it a go, see what you think. Inhale, hips forward, sink them down. Exhale, shift them back, balance towards yourself. Inhale, return to your low lunge. Move your blocks out of the way so you can use them next time. Alright, so you move your blocks out of the way, plant your 2 hands down. Now if you're hanging out in the basement of your shoulders like this, there is no way you're going to be able to step the left leg back, so lengthen your arms. Come right up into the tops of your shoulders so you have more space to pick the left foot up. To step it back, you come into your plank and flow through any variation of vinyasa that you like. I'm going to modify it. You choose what you would like to do. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press into the top of your feet. Pull your chest forwards. Exhale, make your way back. Downward facing dog. Stretch out nice and long. Take a deep breath in. A full breath back out. We do the next side. Inhale, left leg floats up towards the ceiling. You come high onto the ball of the right foot. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your ribs, but stay in that downward facing shape. Round through the upper spine, look forward and slowly shift your shoulders forward. See if you can place your heels down first, then the ball of your toes of your foot. Okay, right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale, 2 arms stretch back up towards the ceiling. And you investigate the other side of your hips. So shift forward. Shift it back. Little shift from side to side, just see what's going on here. If you need more balance, bring your hands to your hips, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Now that you know what you're working with, come back to 90 degrees in each leg. Need to hop my back foot in a little bit. 2 arms come up. Squeeze your legs in towards the midline, stack the left knee straight on top of your left ankle. Yeah, that's going to make your life easier. And then without going from side to side, we go straight up, but just like a little bit to begin. If you need it to be a bit easier, then you can go higher. So you pull, you figure out, okay, how much do I need to do here so I can start to shake a little bit, but not too much, okay? Check, can I breathe? The answer is no. Come up higher, it's not a big deal, you know? And you pause for 3. For 2, squeeze your legs in. For 1, lift your lower belly. Okay, I'm starting to shake, you shaking? Good. Okay, 2 hands come down towards the ground. Step right forward, foot forwards, bring your big toes to touch. Little halfway lift. Exhale, bow back down towards yourself and come into chair pose. Bend your knees. Sink your hips, reach your arms up and sit down into your chair. Shrug your shoulders. Lift your 2 front hip points up a little bit. Yeah, just so you're not like doing a double duck bum. Tuck your tailbone down, lift your sit bones, let your sit bones, your 2 hip bones up. Release your hands behind your back. Inhale. Lift the chest, lengthen your arms as best as you can. Exhale, bow back in towards yourself, lower belly, ribs down to your thighs, you fold. Lift your shoulders up and away from your ears so you have space. Perhaps drop a tiny bit more weight into your toes. Kneel back in towards your shins. Deep breath in. Full breath back out. Release your hands down. Halfway lifts. Transfer your weight into your right foot. And we step the left foot back. Okay, lovely. Juggle the right foot out just a little bit wider. If you use your blocks on the first side, do the same thing here. Take them underneath the shoulders. If you don't have blocks, it's okay. Use your fingertips instead. Shift your hips forward. Sink them down. See how that feels. On your exhale, pull it back, down towards yourself. Inhale, hips forward and down. Exhale, peel it back, down towards yourself. One more time, inhale, hips forward. Exhale, peel it back. Inhale, a little lunge, and like you did the first time, hands come down, dome the upper back. So full length through your arms, pick up the right foot, step it back. Either to move through your vinyasa, or you can skip it. You can come into child's pose, or you can come straight into downward facing dog. These are always good options. And pause. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Notice the heat that you've started to generate in your body. And let's move into our main flow of our sequence. So on your inhale, float your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tiger curl. Hug your knee in towards your ribs first. Look forwards, then step your right foot through. See if you can get your right foot a little closer towards your right thumb. Spin the left foot out about 45 degrees. And you come up, warrior one. So you got a bit of space in between your 2 feet. I have tight hips, so I walk my foot out a little bit wider and think about squaring your hips up towards the front of the room. Dropping your tailbone down, and then reaching up through the crown of your head, reach up through your fingertips. Steady your gaze forward, and find your breath. Too often the mind gets completely tangled in just whatever is going around you, or you fast forward into the past, or you fast forward into the future and you rewind into the past. See if you can allow yourself just to land in the moment. Gather your breath in. Exhale, open out, warrior two. So right foot comes in towards the midline. Left toes turn out towards 90 degrees. And you turn your hips and your chest towards the left-hand side of the room. And send your gaze over your front right middle finger. Okay. While you're here, squeeze your legs in towards the midline and lunge into your front right knee. Lovely. Slip your right palm. Inhale, reverse the warrior, take it up and back. Your right hand comes high, the left hand slides down the back of the right leg. Your left leg. Okay. Deep breath in. Slow breath back out. Inhale, lengthen the right leg, give them a nice squeeze in towards each other, and then come back up, but you've got the right leg extended. Toe the left foot in a little bit more and gently tuck it in. It's more like you're doing a warrior one stance here, but it's a bit shorter. We come into Trikonasana. So personally, I love to use a block here. You can either put it on the outside or the inside of your foot. Inside is a little easier, outside is a little harder. You choose. Stretch your two arms out like wings. Look towards the front of the room. Now pull your right hip crease back. Draw your right hand forward so you feel length from your right underarm to your right hip. See if you can keep on lengthening that out. Take a tiny little bend into your right knee so you don't piss it off. And then right hand comes down towards the ground. Left arm comes up, and I just realized, can you swear when you're on YouTube? I think that's up to you. I think you know. Are you allowed to swear on YouTube? Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Stretch two arms out nice and wide. We're about to find out. And breathe. Can you keep that length from your right underarm to your right hip? So pull the right hip back. Press down equally into both of your feet. If your right leg feels kind of soft, it means that your left leg isn't working hard enough. So press down into the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Inhale, stretch the left arm up and over your head. Start reaching it towards the front of the room to make a nice long long line from your left pinky finger to your left hip crease. And circle the hands all the way down to the ground. And just move your block out to the side. For the next time, come into a low lunge. Send your right foot out a little wider. Left hand comes down to the ground. Inhale, right arm threads up towards the ceiling just to take a twist. Think about taking your left ribs towards the right hand side of the room. As the right shoulder, the right arm draws back, and then lengthen all the way through that central axis, which is your spine. So extend the crown of your head forward as you press the left heel back. Circle the right hand all the way back, around and down to your mat. And let's place our left knee down to the ground. I always get a little bit excited whenever I get to put my left knee down on the ground. Yeah, I'm like, oh good, yes. All right, take 2 hands to the mat. Or your blocks. Caterpillar your right foot just a little bit further forward, and then lengthen your right leg. Ardha Hanuman, and you can always walk your hands back if that feels better. Press your heel towards the front of the room, flex your toes in towards your face, and you breathe. Now, for the most part, hamstrings are usually quite challenging. And unless you're intentionally lengthening them out, you're going to be quite tight. So meet yourself where you're at. Pull your right thigh back, but press the right heel forward. Let's not just lengthen our right hamstring, let's take a moment to engage it as well. So make sure your hands can come down onto something. My friends in the room who are on the fingertips, I'm really sorry. It's about to get harder. Yeah, I wouldn't make it easy for yourself if I were you. Just realistically. Okay. Lift your lower belly, switch your core on, lengthen through your spine, look at your right foot, flex the foot, so draw the toes in, and without too much drama, we're gonna pick up the right foot. Imagine that you wanna, imagine that you wanna get your shin all the way up to your nose. Yeah, okay, Abby's not happy about doing this. She did the test to see if she could get into the FBI the other day. Could you? Can you? You actually failed. You pause for another moment, lift, and see if you can bend up your knee. Slide it all the way back, 4-point position. How good's that? Yeah, that feels better. Take your blocks out of the way. Ooh. Both knees come down. Okay. Forearms come down to the ground, interlace your hands. Just a moment to strengthen and open into the shoulders, tuck your toes. Now lift your lower belly. Head comes down, press down into your forearms to lift your bum up. Now, the classic variation is having your hands out front and flat. If you have tight shoulders, like myself, it's nicer just to interlace the 2 palms. Yeah. Now press the pinky fingers down. Look back towards your feet. Maybe bend your knees, and you can just walk your feet a couple centimeters further forward so you start to feel your hips come over the top of your shoulders. And we pause here. For 3. Lift the lower belly. Can you press down into the forearms so you can lift your head up and away from the mat so it's some clearance just so it can hang? For 2. For 1. Leave your hands where they are. Just start to walk your feet back so you come into a Dolphin Plank. Pause for a moment, lift your lower belly, pull your chest forward. For 3. For 2, see if you can get your bum a little bit lower down, my friend. Yes, for 1. And then the best bit is you lower your hips all the way down to the ground. If the palms are interlaced for the friendly version, point them forward now, press down into your palms. Press into the palms, pull the chest forward, and drop your shoulders down out of your ears. Allow yourself just to pause here with closed eyes in a more passive back bend. It's like you're making yourself into a nice quarter pipe type shape. Flattening out the lower back and then bone by bone, starting to pick yourself up so you can broaden through the chest. Deep breath in. Slow breath back out. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully, and we lower ourselves back down. Slide the hands down by your lowest ribs. Tuck your wings in. Yeah. Tuck your toes. Make your way back home any way you like. I'm going to do it through bent knees and child's pose. If you want to go through plank or a vinyasa or anything like that, go for it. We'll meet each other back in downward facing dog. I'll give you a moment to get there. Lovely. We'll just do the other side and then we'll start to wind everything back down. How's that sound? Yeah, sounds good? Okay, sounds good to me too. Okay. On your inhale, lengthen the left leg up towards the ceiling. Come higher off the ball of the right foot. Now hug your left knee in towards your ribs. Coil it in nice and tight. Look forwards. Lead the shoulders forward, lead the foot forward. See if you can get your heel down before the ball and toes of your feet. Right toes spin out and down, so warrior one stance. Sort out your foundation first, your feet right, and then come on up. When I say right, I mean something that feels right for your body, not like textbook right. I think that's overrated. So feet are as wide as they need. Toes, about 45 degrees. And you square your hips forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come a little deeper into your left knee, so maybe you can stack the knee on top of the ankle. Then open it out into warrior two. Left foot comes out a little wider. Right toes turn out and down and come into your second warrior. So you point your hips and your chest towards the side of the room. But send your gaze over your front right. Front left middle finger. Breathe here. See if you can stack upper body over the top of your hips. Give your legs a nice squeeze in towards the midline, and then flip the left palm, leave the lower body as it is. As you reverse your warrior, take it up and back. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Now relax the shoulders out of your ears. And lengthen through the left side, so left leg completely lengthens. Keep reaching through the left arm. And lift yourself back up to neutral. Right foot steps in and out a little bit, especially if you have short arms. Yes. Reach out to the side of your mat, grab your block, either pop it to the inside or the outside of your foot. Lengthen your arms. Lift the lower belly, now pull the left hip crease back. Then reach the left hand forwards. Do that again, left hip crease back. Left hip or left fingertips forward, then using your lower belly, left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up, get a little bend into your left knee as you open yourself out. So you can tuck your left butt cheek underneath you as you pull the right side back. Can you not just come into the shape, but can you also breathe? Stretch the two hands further apart, but squeeze your two legs in together. Perhaps look up towards your right thumb and reach your right hand up and over your head. And then wiggle it all the way back down to the ground. Move your blocks out of the way. Or let them roll back into the weight. Come into your low lunge. Right hand comes down to the ground. Inhale, left arm opens up towards the ceiling. So feel the right ribs move towards the left. Yeah, it's almost like you can actually grab them, take your right ribs, move them towards the left. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Now lengthen your back right leg, lift the back of your knee up towards the ceiling. Yes. Exhale, circle the left hand back, around and down to your mat. Now you can place your right knee down. You can take your frame as the blocks. Ardha Hanuman. Wiggle your left foot a little bit more. Then pull the left leg towards straight. And come into it, starting by working into your flexibility here, finding length. So your hamstring runs across two joints. It starts kind of down here, underneath your knee, runs through the back of your knee, through the back of your hips, and it inserts right into your lower back, yeah? You have 3 hamstrings, 3 in each leg. Some people say that you have 3.5. I round down, I just say 3. The half is like a little short one. It's like a little mini one. Yeah, I know, it's a bit cute. So you lengthen out all 3.5, little cute one. Give it a moment. Remember, you can always take your hands back so they're straight underneath the shoulders. That might be a little bit more stable for you. And take a deep round of breath. You make sure that you're relaxed, that you're calm. And now we do the fun bit. Okay, and I say it's fun, not necessarily because I think it's actually fun. I think it's just interesting. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. That's why it's fun. So you look at your left foot. You say to yourself, left foot, move. You pick it up, float it up away from the ground, and you pause. And you see if you can get your left shin, a little bit higher up towards your nose. One day, maybe you can tap your nose. I haven't experienced that yet. Oh, it's easy for you on this side. You said it was your strong leg. Pause for another moment. Just some context for that one. Abby has one left strong leg and one right not so strong leg. Yep, bend your knee. Slide it through. My left leg is not my strong leg. And then place your knee down to the ground. Okay, move your blocks out of the way. If you'd like a slightly different experience in your dolphin, you can take your block or your block-like thing. You can make yourself 2 L's, or like little picture frames with your fingies, and hang on to your block, right? So palms pressed down, and squeeze your hands into the, squeeze your elbows in, plug the hands down, tuck your toes. It's gonna feel stronger through the shoulders. Lift your bum up, and drop the crown of your head down. Now think about pressing down into your forearms so you can lift up. Yes, the space for your head. If your head is hitting the ground, you've gone down too low, lift yourself back up. Okay, so I'm just finding my necklace here. Moments. Every now and then it falls into my nose. It's not very pleasant. Maybe walk your feet a little bit further forwards for 3. Lift your core for 2. Remember to breathe for 1. And then walk your feet back. Slowly, slowly. Slowly, slowly until we meet each other. In a plank. Lovely. Okay, press down into your palms. Lengthen from your heels to the crown of your head for 3. For 2. For 1. Hips come down. Throw your block out of the way. Sphinx pose. If you'd like to come a little bit deeper into your Sphinx this time, bring your elbows in a little closer. If you want a little less, no drama, slide your arms further forwards. That's pretty nice. It's kind of like a swampy Sphinx. If you want more, hands come out wide, splay the hands out, and it turns into seal. The further your hands come in towards themselves, the stronger it's going to be. Just listen to what your spine's telling you. If it's like, oh, and don't, yeah? A little bit of weight in the tops of your feet is nice. Can you soften your breath? Inhale. Gently exhale, lower yourself back down. Retuck your toes. Press into your hands. Make your way back, downward face. So you can do that through vinyasa. You can do it through plank. We'll make our way back, downward face. Now let's have a little rest for a moment. Take your knees down to the ground. We'll come into child's pose. And just like you did at the start of class, bring yourself back to your breath if your mind is wandering. If your mind has gone away, just bring it back. I don't know about you, but my mind is always wandering. It loves to tell me lists of things that I need to do, and things that I want, things that I don't want, and blah-de-blah. Yeah. So step outside of those ripples of thought and bring yourself back into the moment. Take a deep breath in. Enjoy a full breath back out. Make your way back, downward facing dog. You're on the home stretch. Just one little bit of work on each side and then you get to rest. So, inhale, roll it nice and high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, melt them back down. Let's bring our big toes to touch. Roll your heels to the right. So your left foot stacks on top of your right foot. Lovely. Inhale, shift your way forwards. You come into a plank. Okay, now notice as you do this, there's heaps of weight in your right hand, yes? Okay, but there's not much in your left hand. No. Okay, so press down into your left hand, lighten up the right one so the work is even, and that instantly feels better, doesn't it? Yeah, so much better. Now lift your core. That feels even better still. If you'd like to modify this next movement, I recommend doing it. Take the right knee down towards the ground. Now transfer the weight out of your left hand. Inhale, reach it up towards the ceiling. Side plank pose. Awesome. Pause. Press it down into the right hand, lengthen up through the left hands. Zip up through the lower belly, and then start to float the left leg up away from the right one, so flex your foot. Then start to squeeze it in towards your belly. And keeping the knee bent, you might even like to use your left hand to guide the knee. See if you can place the left foot all the way out to the top of the mat. Ta-da, lovely. So your hands come down. Toe heel your left foot across your body. Place the shin down and roll to the outside of your left bum cheek. So you come all the way up down and we'll come into lazy pigeon, which is one of my favorite types of pigeon. I'm going to take a little quarter turn just so you can see me a bit better. So your left shin is forward. Let's pick up the right knee, slide it in towards yourself. So the front shin is in line with the front of your mat. The back one is in line with the side of your mat. Lovely. You might grab yourself a block or a cushion, or your pet, or whatever it is that you're using. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. And you start to bow in towards yourself. And you see how this feels. Try your best to square up towards the front of the room. And if you would like more sensation, all you need to do is pick up this back leg and start sliding it back towards a half pigeon. So you keep your right shin on the ground, keep squaring forwards, and that is the shape. Now you stay here. I'm gonna go grab my jumper, because it's starting to get cold again in here. As you start to wind everything down, the body starts to get cold again, so when that time comes, you do the same. Pop your jumper back on. Oh, woolly, scratchy glory. Right. Oh. Love a good jumper. Breathe. If you do not want to fold forward here, you totally don't need to. We'll stay just for 4 deep rounds of breath. Acknowledging the inhale that comes in through your nose. Acknowledging the exhale as it empties back out. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. Roll into the outside of your right hip. Swing your left leg around. Not your left leg, my left leg, your right leg. And come up into Janu Shirshasana. So bend your knee out to the side. Place your foot to the inside of your thigh. And sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, and depending on what your hamstrings are like, you might like to just leave it like this. Sitting tall, being able to breathe. It's a nice place to be. If you do happen to have more space though, you might like to bound towards yourself. Press the heel forward, you fan the toes back in. If there is space, you might hold on to the foot. If you fall rubber bandy, maybe you take something block-like, you pop it underneath your foot so you can really flatten out your foot. You wrap your hands around it and then you bow in towards yourself. Only if that is necessary though. Just find a nice amount of stretch. So just because you can go deeper doesn't necessarily mean that you should. We stay 4 rounds of breath. Make sure you count. Gives your mind something to do. Keep on turning your awareness inwards. And you press down. You lift yourself back up. The last little bit on this side as you pick up your left leg. Step it over the top of the right one now. Left hand comes back behind you. Inhale, right arm reaches all the way up towards the ceiling. And then you wrap it around your thigh. You twist towards the left and you get this lovely big twist all the way up through the length of your spine. So lift the crown of your head up like you have a little string attached to the crown of your head. It pulls you up. And drop down through your tailbones. You feel like you're getting nice and long. So always reminds you, last lockdown I grew a lot of avocado seeds. It reminds you of being like a little avocado seed. Gets little leaves pop up. Little root that goes down. Little avocado plant. Come back around through to center, but keep that length. Cross your ankles, roll over your knees, make your way back, downward facing dog. For the last time, take a deep breath in here. You'll not be coming back. A slow breath back out. Bring the feet together. Drop the heels to left. Peel your chest forward. Shoulders come over the top of the wrist. Notice that once again you're dumping into the left hand. Press into the right palm. Lift the lower belly. Let both sides of the chest work evenly. For this next bit, if you'd like to modify again, left knee comes down to the ground. Otherwise, inhale, right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Stretch yourself out nice and long. You look towards the side of the room or up towards your right thumb. Take a deep breath in, lengthen from feet all the way to the crown of your head. Then take your right knee, draw it in towards your chest, look down next to your right hand, and slowly step the right foot all the way towards the front. Yes, you with me? Cool. Alright, left knee comes down. Right foot to the heels across your body. Place the right shin down, place the right bum cheek down, and then you bring yourself into your pigeon. But it's a lazy one. Alright, right shin in line with the front of your mat. Left shin in line with the side. Fold forward as you wish. No need to fold forward if you don't want to though. We're just here for a little while, not a long while. Find something in your body that works. And if the mind gets distracted, just gently bring it back. Without being judgmental or being harsh with yourself, just time and time again, bring the awareness back. And that's all meditation ever is, just noticing when the mind wanders. and bringing it back into the moment. Take your last round of breath. And let's come back up. Press down into your hands. Roll onto the outside of your right thigh. Swing the left leg around. I'm going to turn so I can see you. There we go. Okay. Left leg is long, right knee is bent. So you sit up nice and tall. You shrug your shoulders. Enjoy a forward fold. And I mean it, enjoy it. See if you can find something which is just not too much. We just need to be patient with ourselves. As humans, we are always in flux. Things are always changing, so you don't need to worry about things changing. That's going to happen whether you want it to or not. But simply coming into these poses means that we're changing and moving in the general right direction. Yeah. Last 2 deep rounds of breath. Down, come back on up. Pick up your left foot, step it over the top of the right one. Sit up nice and tall. So once again, you're like a little sprouting avocado. Your sprout's coming up, your root's going down. Sit up nice and tall. Right hand back behind you, left arm stretches up towards the ceiling and you open out towards the right. You can use your arms a little bit here to get deeper. Flex of your left foot. You might look back over your right shoulder. Okay, release, come back through center. Untangle your legs. Let's press our feet down. Roll all the way down onto your back. And we'll just finish up with a little egg pose. Hug your knees in towards your chest, draw your nose right in towards your knees. If you feel like there's anything else that you want to add into your practice, like an inversion, a happy baby, a back bend, or an extra twist, pop me on pause. Add it in. And then when you're done, press play again. Release your legs, stretch them out nice and long, and we come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. If you feel like there's any tightness in your lower back, and it can happen, you might like to take something, pop it underneath your knees. You might get some blocks or a bolster, or, you get the gist. Put something underneath your knees so they can be propped up. And roll yourself all the way back down, allowing the lower back, an entire chain-like length of your spine to come down towards the ground. Arms come out wide, or you can fold them across your belly. Blink your eyes, bring them down to close, and we'll just rest here for not too long, just a little while. Just allowing the full weight of your body to intentionally drop down into the ground. And then feel the ground press back up into you. If you'd like to stay for longer, absolutely you can. It's always an option. And if anything, I'd encourage it. Allow yourself to stay. Otherwise, if you're ready, wiggle into your fingertips. Wiggle into your toes. Stretch your arms up and over your head. Press out through the balls of your feet. Take a full body yawn. Head and out through yawn. And then draw your knees back in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give them a good squeeze. Rock yourself to a comfortable seat. Knocking things over as you go. Bring the two palms together in front of your chest. Feel the warmth of the two hands. Feel the texture of the palms. And just pause here just for one more moment, noticing the steadiness and whatever else you've created on your mat. And you take that with you into the rest of your day. Let it send ripples into your day tomorrow. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Then a full sigh out through your mouth. And bowing forwards in mutual respect, we say, Namaste.